Hello everyone, we are here. It is the match preview show. I am Paul Mach and I'm joined by Chloe Bloxham and by Katy Alex as well, making her Redmen debut. Katy, hi. Thank you so much for coming in and putting up with the fact that I got our cups of tea mixed up and gave you one with two sweeteners.
Yeah. Do you know what? It's not too bad. I am being a little bit...
It's not okay.
It's been a while since I've had sugar in my tea. I'm too polite to tell you to make me a new one, but it's not the worst
You're
cup of
kind
tea
of
I've ever
sitting
had
back
either.
in your chair and...
I'll be bouncing off the walls in a minute, probably.
You've struggled through politely, which is not the Redmen way, but well done for doing it regardless. Chloe, how are you? You've launched a scathing critique of my tea-making abilities prior to going live.
Yeah, you blew it far too long.
It's
and then
nonsense.
You put sugar
It's
in
absolute
it. I
nonsense. I
mean,
don't know what she's talking about.
What else can you talk about that?
Absolutely.
Depressing Tuesday, really, isn't it?
Absolute nonsense. If anyone wants to interact with us live, you can do. The YouTube chat is there for you. So you've got anything you want to talk about, anything you want to ask, anything pertinent around the conversation to do with Liverpool and Bournemouth in the League Cup, then yeah, get it in and we'll stick it up on screen and we'll have a chat through that as well. I mean, Brett Young says best mug ever. Now, I'm presuming he means... Well, either.
No,
Well, to be honest, either of the mugs we've got.
That one.
Go on,
It'll be this one, won't it?
yeah, go on.
Oh,
yeah.
Hang on, I'm trying...
Not just talking about Katy's face, you know what I mean? Talking about the actual cup and around. That's yeah, it is a great mug. To be fair, we are rocking to. That's the 5-goal wins one, and that was the yeah.
I do actually have the Gary Neville face at home from the last Man United game. So
great times.
Yeah.
Great times. Right, anyway, nowhere near as exciting as a Liverpool win over Manchester United is a midweek trip all the way down to the south coast of Bournemouth, which Chloe's going to have to face up to. It is the League Cup. It's not the best draw, not the worst draw. Ultimately, Chloe, you know they're a beatable team. You're talking about the team at fourth bottom in the Premier League at the moment, the third worst form in the form table at the moment. They did beat us there in the league last season, which is to be remembered. You had that one?
No, I was ill. I was horrifically on my deathbed and told Dan, I don't think I'd make it. And Dan was like, I'll go.
Actually, was this in the aftermath of the Man United game?
Yeah, I was dead. I was horrific.
Yeah. So, you're going to be paying your penance and going down to do it this time around. You excited?
Yeah, I am. Look, there's the Carabao Cup is, people... When it comes to Liverpool, say it's not that big of a trophy because you obviously go after the Europa League, which we are sadly in that. And then
knocked it over. I'm having an absolute.
I'd rather have Champions League, but also the Premier League. It's seen as like a castaway trophy. But when you actually look at it, the teams, we've got an easy draw compared to some of those teams. You get past this and Liverpool have the chance to go all the way and win it, and it's another trophy, and who doesn't want that? It is a major honour. So yeah, there is some interesting fixtures aside from Liverpool's yesterday, and if they all go in the favour of Liverpool, it opens it right up for us.
Yeah, I mean, we do this every year, Katy, where we talk about the League Cup, and it's like... If you get knocked out, it's crap and no one cares. If you get to the final and win it, then boss, it's a brilliant day out at Wembley, and that's what it's there for, really. You know, it's an opportunity for Young to make a few changes, to bring some of the young lads in potentially. We saw Luke Chambers start last week against Toulouse. No reason why someone like him couldn't get another game potentially in this one. And yeah, it's all just about keeping the fun times going. Yeah. Everything feels like it's going Liverpool's way at the moment, which is funny because obviously with the Tottenham Hotspur game and all that kind of stuff, but it feels like they're pulling in the right direction. I don't even feel like we need to have conversations around, do we need the League Cup in our lives? It's a game of football. It's an opportunity to watch Liverpool play. We should all be happy for that at the minute.
Yeah, I think at the end of the day, a trophy is a trophy. It's nice to have them. It's nice to keep racking the numbers up. And like you said, it gives Klopp a chance to rotate the team, to try out some of the younger players. We're getting to do that in Europa League. I think having all these games to play, I don't know, I don't see it as a negative, I see it as a positive because, like you said, we've got all these academy players coming through. We're getting to test them out, try them with some more of the senior players, seeing what works, and I think it's just an exciting time. And I think some people aren't too bothered when we go out. It might feel that way because we end up putting a younger squad out, and then you can say, oh, it's a young squad, it's just the way it goes. But I don't know, I've got a good feeling about this tomorrow. I think the squad we saw on Thursday with some of the younger ones in handled that match quite easily once we got going. So we'll just see what happens tomorrow.
Well, I think that's an interesting point, because look at the team that plays that, Chloe. You know, it was Kelleher, Trent, Matip, Gomez, Chambers, Jones, Endo, Gravenberch, Elliott, Nunes, Jota, who start the game. It's the interesting conversation is whether that's strong enough, and it's hard to base this because, you know, look, Toulouse are in Europe. You know, as was pointed out by everyone who had nothing to say about Toulouse, they had a draw with PSG.
Yep.
Go ahead, I have no idea what that means. Bournemouth are a Premier League team. They've got Man City at the weekend to come. You know, it's not like a game where they've got a must-win game lined up. So I don't know whether that might mean they're going to go a little bit stronger for this one, see if they can get a little bit of positivity back. It's a home after all. For you, how would you be approaching that? Would you just go same again from Toulouse pretty much?
No, mainly because Luis Diaz is not available, which means who knows what happens with him for Luton, and therefore the rotation, I think you can't play Diogo Jota 3 times in a row and these kind of things. But it's a game in which Liverpool need to keep up the vibes, like you said before we started. And what Liverpool and Jurgen Klopp's Liverpool are so good at is bouncing into games and using the momentum. And a win over Bournemouth for the young lads in a rotated squad is a bounce, whether people like to believe it or not. You heard Soboslai the other day, he said, you know, what's there to win? And he went, absolutely everything. And he started listing every competition as if he'd played in it for 5 years straight, when he hasn't. Yeah. He listed the Carabao Cup. I was surprised he knew what the hell that was.
He said Strictly Come Dancing. I've no idea. He just literally wants to win the lot. Like,
exactly. You know? So the lads are all up for it, and we all want to win. What I would say is I'd give Luke Chambers another go. Kelleher, I'd drop Trent out. I'd put Gomez right back. Matip, Quansah. As the other one, Endo, Curtis Jones, and because of this Diaz situation, I'd have loved to put Harvey Elliott in the midfield. I'm now putting Harvey Elliott right wing and telling Gravenberch to go again, which I'm a little upset about because I really want him to play against Luton. But I'd give him another go. I'd put Harvey Elliott on the right, Cody Gakpo up top. Harvey Elliott on the left, Ben Doak on the right, and Cody Gakpo up top.
Do we know if Doak's...
He trained yesterday. He didn't fully train, but Pep Linders was like, let's see. He's enthusiastic.
I'm a big fan of Pep Linders' press conferences. He's just such a jolly human being. We mentioned this on the podcast. They all are, like, all of Jurgen's backroom staff are genuinely made up to get out of bed in the morning. You know, I think most of us just going, oh, not this shit again. You know what I mean? Like, whatever. Even on your worst days, they don't seem to have worst days. They all seem to cartwheel into work, which is great. Katie, anyone you really want to see? I mean, someone like Endo in midfield feels like he's getting stronger and stronger.
Yeah, I think, for that reason, I'd like to see him play, because I think we've not saw the best of him yet. So I think the more minutes he gets, the more we'll see him develop a little bit and find a place in the squad maybe. But it's not the easiest squad to get into at the moment for someone of his position. So this is the perfect game, really, isn't it?
Exactly that. You know, this league cup. You know, you could end up in a situation where you're getting further, and you're either going to need him, or you're in a situation where you need to put someone else in, but then you'll have to put him somewhere else. So you'll have to play him in another game, you know, to make sure that what we've got fit and fresh. So for me, it feels like you've got no choice but to play Endo in this, because I think we just need to find out what his level is. I think some people have been more quickly won over than others. I'm a little sceptical as to, I don't know how high his ceiling is. But Klopp knows what he's doing. He's got an eye for a player. The more he's played, the better he's got. So it stands to reason that, give him this game and we'll have it again by the end of the 90. We'll have an even clearer picture of what we've got, really.
Yeah, and definitely. I think he's played the last 3 games, Gravenberch. But like you were saying, I think if we play him in this game tomorrow, I just think Luton on the weekend, I can see them sitting back a lot more like Nottingham Forest did. I don't see Bournemouth doing that tomorrow, because I think they're going to go for it.
Yeah.
And I think from what I've seen the past few games, I think he plays I don't know, in my opinion, I've seen him play better when the game's a bit more open.
Yeah.
And he's able to do what he does best. When the team's sitting back, I just don't know if he was struggling a little bit on the weekend to get some of the passes through and see where, I don't know, I think he struggled a little bit more on the weekend compared to Thursday, where the game was a lot more open.
Yeah.
So
I think the other thing is, if Luis Diaz was available, then it'd make this easier. We'd probably sit there and say, actually, you know what, lad, give him maybe 20, but actually save him for Luton.
Yeah.
But the thing is that Darwin Núñez had cramp towards Uruguay. He's selected once again. Gravenberch isn't. Gravenberch is the one player there who should be at a national team, but is not getting picked.
Yeah.
And therefore, you can tell him to go again, where I'd hate to put Gakpo on the left and Darwin Núñez up top, and then he picks up a knock or he gets cramp at the end, and then you don't see him against Luton on the weekend in case we might need someone to come on and really attack the game. Where if you do use Gravenberch, you can say to him, look lads, there's that many midfielders, we're just rotating, and you'll get some minutes at Luton, you might not start, but you've got this game to go and grab it. And he's done it in the Europa League. Every time he's played, aside from Nottingham Forest, and he did have really good moments, he's really impressed me. He's been potentially man of the match in quite a lot of the games. So I think that's the way you can kind of say to him, we're sharing your minutes, but also the reason that you're now playing this and maybe don't play in the Premier League for the next game is because of a situation that is just unprecedented, that no one could.
I think there's a little situation where there's a few lads who just they're trying not to play in those midweek games. So like Szoboszlai's not playing in them games because he's doing everything else. He's running out flat in the Premier League for us. We've actually even rotated Salah, but this is the beauty, Katie, of the 5 subs thing. Is I don't think any of us would go, right, Mo Salah's definitely starting Bournemouth midweek in a League Cup game, but it almost doesn't matter because you can bring him on with half an hour left to go. And actually, last year he was playing twice a week, every week, playing Champions League games, huge games of football, 90 minutes twice a week. Now, even if he plays 90 plus 60 or 70 and 70 or whatever, we're actually resting him at the same time. So you don't need to start Salah in this one, but also a year ago, I don't think you see hide nor hair of him in the early rounds of the League Cup. Yeah. But in this one, there's no reason why Mo can't come in and do half an hour or do 45 minutes if we need him to. Yeah,
definitely. I think, the goal he scored last Thursday, that was in extra time, wasn't it? Or injury time, whatever. So, we can bring him on for the last 10 minutes. I'm sure he'll score a goal or assist in some way because he's just doing that every single game at the moment. Yeah. And he's got the support in numbers as well. So
he's not being tasked with saying you're the one.
You're the one who needs to score. Exactly. Yeah. He's got so much support. I don't think we'll see some of the players. We won't see Núñez. We won't see Szoboszlai on Wednesday. I don't think tomorrow, but.
And Van Dijk's probably the other one.
I think he puts that. There's something. I know I gave my line up earlier, but there's something in the back of my mind telling me he's going stronger than we all think. Yeah. Because it's not like we've got the feckin' Europa League next Thursday. He could go and rest people in that, and he could say, "Hey lads, we've won 3 from 3. This is a knockout tie. Let's go better than this." So yeah, you might, if Ben Doak's not 100% fit, I might see Salah starting, or you might see him on the bench. You might see Núñez on the bench. You might see he's not scared of putting those players on the bench because ultimately this isn't a game where, oh well, don't worry lads, we've got another game where we can just pick up 3 points and we can sail through. This is a die or win situation. We've got to get over the line, and therefore he probably will have to go strong, even if it is just the bench.
Do you think it gives some of the players who are starting a bit of confidence when they know those names are on the bench, just in case they're needed?
Yeah.
And I mean, I don't know.
Even if Klopp has no intention of playing in them.
I'm not sure that the players actually think like that, because I think they probably go into it going, I'm starting, I'm going to win this game for us. But as fans, defo, you know what I mean? There was something to looking at the bench against Toulouse. There was a bit like those guys, wasn't even looking at the fact they were all warming up in front of us, and the cops, God, have you seen that bench? I think I did a clip, and it was like Szoboszlai, Van Dijk, McAllister, maybe Diaz was on there, or someone else, but there was 5 anyway, and I was like, Salah sat down, you know what I mean? He's not even in that. It was like, oh my God, I haven't seen a subs bench like that since we went to Real Madrid away under Rodgers and put all the good players on the bench for no reason whatsoever. So you've got those kind of options, but I guess there's two categories of player in this. There's the must not play and must play. Yep. And I think someone like Van Dijk is a must not play. You've got no need to risk him in this game of football. We've got Quansah, there's Matip, there's Gomez there.
Canate on the bench if needed.
Exactly, who could all, find to play some minutes or whatever. a must play is Curtis Jones, because he's not been playing because he's obviously been suspended. Harvey Elliott, yeah, because he's not been running to the ground. He's been he's been a sub basically largely for us, hasn't he? And I think he's been brilliant as that. It'd be nice to see him start a game and actually have the impact from minute one that he's been having off the bench. Would be good for him, certainly. I think Salah's a must not start, but he might get. Well, I don't think Salah plays 90 one way or the other. He might be the surprise of. He plays 60 and then comes off, maybe, and that might be your knock-on impact of the Diaz thing of being a little short in numbers if he's not around.
Cody Gakpo might not get full 90 in case he's not 100% ready to go for the 90.
He might need it though, is a thing. And then beyond that, again, McAllister probably shouldn't be starting this one because you've got Endo who then falls into the must start because he needs the games. And then also it's starting to kind of take shape a little bit. And it then goes back to your point of how many young players is he comfortable with? Is he happy having a starting 11 that's got Ben Doak in and got Luke Chambers in? I'm not sure. Maybe. I think he's going to have to pick someone. He's going to have to pick someone at left back, and I don't think he'll do the Gomez thing.
I'd enjoy seeing Gomez there, but
I would enjoy that too. To be fair.
So.
But yeah, go to the Endo thing. I want to see Endo play. And I want to see him play well because I want Curtis Jones to be out there because he's now fighting for his place all of a sudden because Gravenberch has absolutely just stormed the place since Jones got suspended. So it's an interesting one. Gakpo, definitely need some minutes. We've got a comment here from Hey Rumba. It says, perfect time to test Endo against the Premier League team. I think that's actually a good point. You know, I was talking to Neil Jones on Journo Insight. I think he was saying he felt he should have played the Brighton game. I think a few of us probably felt that at the time, but it was whether Klopp felt he was ready for this. Well, actually, this is a bit of like a soft launch almost. It's a good chance to test yourself against the Premier League team without it being the kind of pressure that comes with the Premier League. And Effortless here says Chambers will be left back again. Chloe, between Chambers and Scanlon, from what you saw last week, would it be Chambers who gets the nod if you had to pick one of the two?
Yeah, just for the main reason of he's the one that's been most talked about. He's been brought up in press conferences quite a few times from both Pep and Jurgen Klopp, and he got the nod in midweek. So yeah, 100% I can see him starting again, because what you don't want is for him to start one week and he didn't have an outrageous game, but he also wasn't bad. He was just sound. He just found his way floating through the game a little bit. And I think Jurgen Klopp backs his players to say, no, I want you to go again. No, like, I've wrapped an arm around you. You're going again and you're getting your spot again. And then, you say, we're going to rotate you again like we did last time if we're doing well. So, yeah, I think Luke Chambers starts for me.
Yeah, I think on Thursday, the mistakes he made to me were more a confidence thing than anything. And if he starts tomorrow, and then starts more games, we might see that confidence build and he'll become a player that we're hoping him to become.
I think that's a great point, and it kind of, you're both saying almost the same thing of like Klopp's great at that, of saying, okay, you weren't. I don't think he was great last weekend. He played within himself. Again, I've got no expectations on him because I've not watched him, come through the ranks. But again, on Journo Insight today, Neil Jones was saying he has got high expectations and he felt he was a little bit restrained. Well, actually, you've done that once now. You've made your debut. You've got it out the way. Just be better than that. Just go on and trust yourself a little bit more. The reason I asked it, because it's just about the functionality thing and what we're looking. I liked how direct Scanlon was. I liked how fast he was. I thought he's more noticeably good fit in that he's just got that engine. He's going to run up and down and cause problems in the final third. Whereas it's sometimes hard if you're a technical footballer. If you misplace a couple of passes and maybe you're being a little bit within your shell, you actually start to look worse than you are, because you haven't got that lung burst and run where it makes everyone go like noticeably impressive. But it'd be an interesting pick. I've got no issue one way or the other. Right, we'll settle on a team in a second. I just want to do one more comment and then I'm going to pick Katie's brain on some amazing career moves of late. But Vase of Flowers says let's let Mo start and do some damage, then take him off. It'd be a waste not to. Mo is fitness personified. Put him in from the start. He is fitness personified. You touching wood there?
Yeah.
Can't not do it. I'll touch some laminate looking wood for that. I go one way or the other with Mo, to be honest. We always do this. Me and Chris have had this debate on Redmen for 13 years now of I'm very much keep things on the bench in case you need them, and he's like, no, get it all on the pitch to start with, and then bring it off.
Yeah, my issue with that is if you put him on when we don't know if he's needed, there's a chance he could get injured.
Exactly.
Put him on when we know, okay, we're desperate, we need him to come on. You know, he might not get injured. But
you can't win.
The worst thing to do is put him on first when without him we might score 3, 4, 5. You just don't know.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
I'm going to ask a question where of the audience at home. I want you to name the starting 11 for Liverpool. You can Google it, and of course you can, but that's just cheating, right? What was Liverpool's starting 11 the last time we played Bournemouth in the League Cup at their ground?
Oh, stop it.
How long
It was
ago
like
was that?
2014.
It was...
Was it? Correct.
Blocks, I'm getting. But can you name the 11?
Why do I know that? Because I had to go in a ballot that included that game to get to Bournemouth this season.
Really? Right, so we'll go through that in a minute. But Katie, yes, things going really well at the moment. I mean, obviously Liverpool fans might recognise you from a couple of things. Obviously, I think it was in your words on your Instagram, your grid on the side of the club shop. But you were involved with the third kit launch as well.
I was, yeah, doing some filming stuff at the Olympia. Unfortunately, not getting to meet the players or bump into anyone, but still just really, really special to be a part of it. So, yeah.
That the secret gig at the Olympia.
Yeah.
How was that?
That was amazing. It was so good. That was the biggest place I've DJ'd to date, so that was special in that. But just getting to be a part of something like the boss night and seeing all the fans there, seeing the players backstage, being a few feet away from Alisson and Szoboszlai and stuff. It was just like, yeah, it's little pinch me moments. Like
Tell
that.
me about Alisson's aura, because I've had an ongoing thing about that.
So backstage, when I say backstage, like to the side of the stage, he was tuning up his guitar before he jumped on with Keo, and he just looked really shy and quite nervous. And then he gets on stage and he's strumming away and he was loving it. So it's all right, I don't know.
It wasn't as you'd expect his like commanding bear-like self.
Yeah.
He was a bit like, I suppose you think about it, yeah.
Seemed like a normal dude, but a bit, obviously he was definitely a bit nervous.
Played in front of like 100,000 people at a go, and yet, but I suppose walking out with a guitar, he's by all accounts, he's a hobbyist musician.
He handled it really well, like you wouldn't know. I think that was probably his first time on stage playing guitar, I think. I mean, I might be wrong, but...
Well, yeah. As a professional musician, you go, well, that's the biggest not many situations where anyone you can pick a guitar up and walk out in front of that many people just casually. People don't remember it. There was a few videos up on the YouTube channel. I was there with my cousin and our kids and stuff. I had an absolute belter of a time. And obviously the players you mentioned come out on stage and threw shit into the crowds and all that kind of stuff. How long had that been arranged for, and did you know who was going to be there ahead of time?
I might have known. It was one of them things, it's like, do not tell anyone under any circumstances. So obviously wanting to be a part of something like this, you keep your mouth firmly shut. It was a very quick turnaround. It was, to be honest, I think the club's doing a really good job at the moment of working with a lot of people, like the boss night, with LFC Retail and Nike, so it was a massive group effort to put that thing together, but it was pretty much like, are you free in a week's time? Yeah, okay, here's some brief details, I'll get back to you.
Yeah.
So I was like, I know I'm doing something really cool, I'm not entirely sure what yet, and then it was like a few days before just finalised.
How did you decide what your set list was going to be?
To be honest, when I saw how many children were in the audience, I was like, nothing with swearing in, nothing with sexy talking. Let's keep it like PG. But the kids were loving it, like proper bouncing to tech house and stuff, which I didn't expect. So yeah, that's pretty much just how I picked it. You can't really plan sets. You just play a song, and once you get, I think, well, I can't speak for everyone, but once I get into the vibe, if I'm feeling that, then I'm like, I'm going to play something like that next.
Yeah, because otherwise you just bring your iPods, right?
Yeah, exactly.
It would just be really boring. Or a modern music playing device. What am I doing? Yeah, you bring a cassette with them all pre-recorded on. Jesus Christ. Yeah, you bring your iPod Classic with your playlist already made. Yes.
Gosh.
Boss stuff, though. Absolutely.
Just your phone.
Well, no, exactly, Chloe. That would have been that would be what people
Just
would
like,
use
get
now.
Spotify.
Yeah.
I heard someone talk about a Walkman a couple of days ago, and I was like, "Whoa!"
Classic. Love
Yeah,
the Walkman,
retro.
mate, but you've never owned a Walkman in your life, have you? It's amazing. You used to just like make your own playlists and then take them away with you. It was the only way. You know, take music
Do you
on the
remember
go.
those CDs where people would just write, mix one on, and someone would have just put a load of music
People used to
on them?
burn CDs at home. God, yeah. Oh,
That was my prime.
Getting
I never
Chloe,
did that
you're
either.
talking about my prime here. What are you talking about? Like,
or an MP3 player where you had to just shuffle one song at a time. No proper screen.
Wild times. Your
Wild.
phone hasn't even got a 3.5
We're spoiled
jack
now.
on it anymore.
No, it doesn't. Rip those headphones.
What you got lined up? Got any gigs coming up or anything?
Might have some. Do you know what? I can't talk about them. There's something that's potentially with Liverpool in the pipeline.
Nice.
But I can't say anything else. And I'm scared to, in case it doesn't.
Yeah.
In case I get kicked off for saying something I shouldn't. So, yeah, as soon as I'm allowed to talk about that, I'll be all over social media.
Katy Alex
Blabbing about
music
that.
on
Yeah.
Insta.
Katy Alex Music on all of it. Yeah.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Excellent exercise in branding. Well done. Right, quality. Let's crack on then. Chloe, give me a finalised team then, because clearly you've decided something was burning you out in the back of your head there.
I can guarantee Kelleher.
Yeah.
And Kwanzaa. They're the two. And Harvey Elliott, I probably can guarantee. Curtis Jones, I can guarantee. Gakpo, I can guarantee, and then the rest, I've got no idea. I went with Joe Gomez, right back, Matip, Kwanzaa, Luke Chambers, Endo, guaranteed, Harvey Elliott. I originally went with Ryan Gravenberch and then remembered Ben Doak is actually available. So maybe I put Curtis on the left, Harvey Elliott on the right. Do I put Ben Doak on the left and put Salah on?
See, I like the idea of Ben Doak on the left, but he's not played there, and we don't know whether
Has he played it for Scotland?
Possibly. I think he played like centre forward for the under-21s, but he's right-footed, and we play inverted wingers, so there's no reason why he can't. But we seem to be using him on the right-hand side.
Fine, I'll stick with my original: Gravenberch, Harvey Elliott, Gakpo, and Ben Doak. Although Harvey Elliott, I've never seen him on the left really, but I really want him to play on the left. He's
the front three?
Yeah, whip the ball in.
I mean, if we're talking about retro, Chloe, putting left footers on the left wing.
Gakpo's somewhere in there.
Yeah. Any preferred? Or preferred people that you definitely want to see within there?
No, I probably agree with Chloe, to be honest. It's hard to say because we've got so many matches, so you're trying to think in your head, well, I mean, I want to say I'd like to see Jota start, only because he seems to be scoring goals first for us, like more than anyone at the moment. But I want to see him on the weekend, so probably would rest him tomorrow.
Maybe Gakpo on the left and Darwin Núñez up top. Like, that's the only other thing. Like, the Luis Diaz situation, we say, look at how many forwards we have and, like, we're great up top. But then you see when one of them's actually missing and you're in a game where you don't have to go full out. It's not, it is a must win. But it's not a Premier League where any point drop feels like the end of the world.
Yeah.
It's really tough to decide who needs the break, who we can push to go again, especially when the likes of Darwin Núñez has had many ridiculous little silly injuries that you just don't want to risk.
Yeah. Luke here in the comments says, Paul, do you reckon Jones will be at right back? Obviously we saw that against Leicester, but I just think, kind of to your point, we need to rotate other people.
Yeah.
So why not get Curtis in? I think if we had to, I think we absolutely would do. But I think if you've got Gomez there and you've got Matip and you've got Kwanzaa, you've got enough to cover the right back position and the centre backs positions. Endo starting DM. I wouldn't be against Endo, Jones, Elliott, but it then becomes the front three of where you're trying to save your legs in there. I mean, it could just shock us all and just start Salah, and then this is just a bit of a moot point. I mean, a couple of people here saying they don't think Doak will be fit enough to start this one if he's just been back in training.
Yeah, it was like, I thought exactly that, because he said he hadn't been in full training, but he'd been in training. And then Pep Linders went on to smile and said, he's really energetic, he's really ready. And then he was like, and then someone went, so will he be in the squad? And he just went, We will see. And then he just left it at that. So,
no. Maybe it might be in the squad. Could be. No, it's not in the squad. Yeah, a couple of people mentioned
if Stefan Bajcetic, by the way, is fit, it makes it a lot easier.
I don't think he's going to.
He's not fit, by the way, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
But if he was fit, it'd have made it a little bit more easier for me.
I'll follow with your back four. I think is spot on. I think Quanta coming in for Van Dijk. I think Gomez coming right back. Chambers at left back. No reason why Kelleher won't start. Endo Defo. Jones Defo.
Yep.
I think Gakpo Defo.
Yep.
And then it's that left side because if you're not starting Jota, he's not got tons of options to
and
go
that's
and
what I
play.
mean. The only other one aside from Jota is Gakpo because he's a natural left winger. But then you've got to start one of Jota or Nunes up
Well, they
top.
subbed Jota off, didn't they? So, okay, Jota's to start central. Or that Jota and Gakpo to start. Yeah, Gakpo central, Jota on the left. And then either Doak Elliott or Salah from the right. And if Elliott's on the right, then it'll be Gravenberch in the midfield. I have absolutely shit house there. Completely refused to nail my colours to the mast, and I'm not going to do it. I asked the question. Liverpool's starting 11 the last time we played them in the League Cup. It was the League Cup 5th round. Chloe is right. It was 2014. Don't put this up on screen yet, Joe, if you don't mind. Do you want to just throw some names out rather than me go through positions?
Okay.
Anyone do you think? 2014.
So we went for the league 13-14. So let's go. Mignolet?
No.
Okay, so Brad Jones, was he there?
Brad Jones, go ahead.
So I've got Skirtle.
Yeah.
Who else was there? Was Glenn Johnson there at that time?
Glenn Johnson was there, but he was not involved in
Okay,
this
that's
game.
fine. As long as he was there, I'm not 100% incorrect.
I feel like this is a back three.
Sturridge, Suarez,
No.
both of them aren't there. Okay. Who did we have up top aside from them? It's so...
I'm trying to remember where and what age I was back then, so I can kind of
13, we
put
went
myself
for the
back
league.
in
9 years ago.
9 years. Bloody hell.
Why is Jose Enrique in my head? It wasn't. It was that Sissoko who scored a...
Yeah, but it wasn't. He wasn't in. He was on. No, he wasn't involved in this one either.
So,
I think it's three at the back.
three at the back, so three centre halves.
Yeah.
So I said Skirtle, didn't I?
Yeah.
Colo Torre.
Colo Torre. Yeah.
Jeez.
Go on, Chloe.
Chloe, when how old were you? I was 12, people.
He was a new signing that season, centre half, played under Jurgen Klopp as well.
Sacco? No, he was already
He was
there.
on the bench.
Clever? No, that was years ago,
No,
Chloe.
too soon.
I was too excited about that. Sorry, the legend was in my mind. Who did we sign? Stephen Corker?
No, that was Jurgen.
I was like, oh, where pulled that from?
He was a Jurgen Klopp loan. This is Brendan Rodgers, Liverpool.
Oh, shit, yeah.
Yeah. I'll give you the other centre half.
Lopez.
Dejan Lovren.
Dejan Lovren.
God.
Forgot about him being a thing.
Midfielders.
Joe Allen.
Captain.
Gerrard.
Steven Gerrard.
Joe Allen wasn't a thing.
Joe Allen was very much a thing. He just wasn't in. He wasn't in this team.
Lallana, was he?
Lallana, yeah.
When did we have Stuart Downing?
Defensive midfielder.
DM on... Who did we have as a recognised DM in the season we went to?
Lucas
Leiva.
Lucas Leiva.
Was Hendo in?
Hendo was... Hendo played, yeah. Jordan Henderson was in.
Where
Well
did he
done.
play?
He'd have been in midfield of some
So we're
description
playing
there.
3 something. Okay, and then we're on to the attackers. Fabio Barini. No, he wasn't there when we won the league.
He was gone by that point, yeah.
Who did we have aside from
he was on
Suarez, Sturridge? SAS, Suarez and Sturridge. Who was the other player? Raheem Sterling.
Raheem Sterling, yeah.
Oh, what?
You've got...
Balotelli, he left.
You've got 2 more attacking midfielders to pick.
Attacking midfielders?
Yeah, like...
John Joe Shelby.
One of them played in the front... But they both played in the front 3 at various times. One of them we got lots of money for when we sold, and one of them we got no money for when we got rid of.
Coutinho.
Felipe Coutinho.
Wow. Forgot that man was a thing.
Is it too... I don't know if this is too old or too young.
Don't worry, I went with
Was Andy Carroll too?
This is...
That's
he was... They were around then, but no, he was gone by that point.
And you said no,
I'm trying to think, no, we got no money.
50.
Oh, Lazar Markovic.
Lazar Markovic, well done.
God.
Out of interest, bench.
Did we lose?
Sacco. We won that 3-1.
Oh.
Do you not remember?
To believe, isn't it?
Did Markovic score in that one? He did. Markovic scored a
Sorry
really
to
good goal in
Ragnar
that one.
Klavan, who I just aged by about 10 years. I really apologise.
Sterling scored 2 and Markovic scored 1.
Did he score a screamer or did it hit the bar and come off the
I feel
goalkeeper?
like that was a really good goal from Markovic in my memory.
That's the only one I remember of him scoring. Did he score any more than that?
Yeah. I don't know. Maybe. Possibly. He certainly hit the crossbar with that really, really, really good effort, and that was kind of summed up his career, and then got sent off in the Champions League game. Yeah. Cool. Score predictions. Haha. What do we think? Oh, wow. Chloe. Katie?
I'm going to say 2-1. Yeah.
I'm feeling the 2-1 thing. I think this is going to be a close one.
I don't think it's going to be as easy as the game a couple of months ago.
You know what I want from these games? As much as it'd be nice to just have another comfortable, like, solid outing where you win 2-0 or 3-1 or whatever, I want a little bit of drama in this one.
I don't. Oh, God's sake, no.
I want a late winner.
Ooh.
My body can't deal with that.
No, I don't know if I can deal with that at the moment.
I'll take it.
I'm liking this smooth sailing at the moment.
By the way,
nice.
Was Steve Cook in that 2014 thingy? Because it feels like he's about 50.
Steve Cook was
Lewis Cook? No, he's too young. Ryan Fraser.
Callum Wilson was up front for them. No. With Dan Gosling.
Oh, Dan Gosling. He's still a thing. What about Brad Smith? Is it Brad Smith?
Brad Smith, who we sold to
No, I'm
them.
thinking of a different...
That was later.
There's
Adam
a left
Smith.
back. Adam Smith.
Brilliant. We can do this after the show if you want. We can go through all
Sorry,
these.
I just thought Steve Cook was about 50, but
we can save that for we can go on a Bournemouth YouTube channel and name some of their historic players. We can put some time on that one. Great.
Oh, you know who was their most iconic player? There's actually quite a few, but Jordan Ard was iconic. How much did they spend on him?
Like 16 million or something.
Delightful.
Yeah. Who was the Bournemouth manager that night?
Wouldn't have been Eddie, would it?
It was Eddie
it?
Howe.
Wow,
Yeah, there you go.
Because I used to be a bit nervous whenever we played Bournemouth back in the Eddie Howe days. Just because of Eddie Howe.
Yeah.
I just thought,
I think it's really funny how, like, you look at that and the career trajectories of Brendan Rodgers at Liverpool, and you know, he was seen as being like the up and coming manager. Liverpool boss. He had a good season in 13-14, all that kind of stuff, and like, who'd have thought all these years later Eddie Howe would be managing in the Champions League? Well, actually, technically they're both managing in the Champions League, aren't they? But one of them's doing it for a Premier League team. Right, quality. That is us for the match preview. Thank you so much for watching and for listening as well. If you want to get more content, you can do. I've referenced the JNO Inside Show heavily. Really good show. With me and Neil Jones over on Redmen Plus. Go and check that out, of course. But a big thank you to Katy Alex, to Chloe Bloxham, and to you guys for watching along or listening at home. You're the best. And hopefully the Reds will continue to be on Wednesday night. Ta-ra. Thank you so very, very much for checking out the video. If you enjoyed it, drop a like. The season is now well underway. If you need extra Redmen content, be it podcast, videos, documentaries, interviews, and general shows, fill your boots on redmenplus.com today.